Hi, my name is Dean Portinga, and we had our own weekly TV show some 20 years ago, and they're still right on in terms of what Spiritual Insights is all about. So I would like to share with one of the episodes with you today.
Welcome to Life Principles, a series on spirituality by Dr. Dean Portinga, exploring the life principles of sacred writings and how they relate to our lives today. Dr. Portinga holds doctorates in theology and clinical psychology and has spent a lifetime in discovering and sharing the principles found common in most sacred writings and religious philosophies in order to enable us to better understand ourselves.
Welcome to our home for another in the series of life principles as they relate to sacred writings, and as these sacred writings relate to some very basic laws of nature. In the first 4 series, we talked about some basic laws of nature, specifically that love is expressed intelligently as energy, and that we, being created in the image and likeness of love, are basically the essence of love, and consequently can create through that reality via the avenue of thought. And that's the second basic law of nature, that mind energy or thought directs energy. And the third basic law of nature was the law of attraction and repulsion. We like to think of it as a magnet. If you take a magnet and you put the positive and negative together, wango, they come together. You've got an energy there. I understand today the scientists have no idea what that energy is other than they know it's there, and they can utilize it and harness it. In some of the research that we've done through a number of research foundations, when that same energy basically transfers from the physical aspect into a mental and emotional and spiritual nature, it reverses polarity, so that a positive attracts a positive, a negative attracts a negative. And so consequently, it's very simple when we understand then what Solomon was saying: whatever a man thinketh, and man being plural, male and female, thinketh where? In their hearts. So are they. It's that clarity and strength of thought that gives us the capability of manifesting whatever it is we began to create in our minds as a desire or vision. And we attract into our life in proportion to the strength and clarity of that thought. And then the fourth basic law that we find throughout sacred writings is a very simple one: give, and it shall be given unto you. And also, when you start thinking about that law of giving and receiving, we have to realize that we have to come from a level of empowerment, from a level of strength, before we can give. And also, as we manifest the ideal lives for ourselves, we are setting an example where Jesus said, "Let your light so shine before men that they will see your good works and want to glorify the same principles within their lives." So the giving, in essence, is also to be a manifester of the quality of life that you're endeavoring to share with others. Give and receive. And we've reviewed these in the first 4 series, and then in the last series we started working with the 5 basic choices of life, how we can choose from that level of love and from that level of realizing that we are the creator of our lives, and began to make some basic choices again that will manifest the ideal lives for ourselves. And when I met my wife, Bobby, I was going through a transition period in my own life. And I remember the thing that really impressed me when I met her is that I understood a lot of these things intellectually from my studies of theology and clinical psychology, but I was having a little difficulty actually implementing them into my experience. But Bobby, to my delight, was living the principles. And so together, utilizing all of the experiences that she's had, she's been able to come up with these 5 basic choices. And I just asked her if she wouldn't share with us this evening in this series some thoughts concerning these 5 basic choices. Lavi?
Thank you, Dean. The 5 basic choices are a result of putting together a program which we now provide through the Futures Group, which all of you that are with us tonight have experienced. These came to me basically, I was working with some breathing exercises to help me quit smoking a number of years ago. And I started working with some focusing techniques and some stretching exercises, and one thing led to another, and I put together this whole routine of things I started doing on a daily basis. And after a period of time, my energy started increasing. I started feeling younger. I started feeling more calm and peaceful inside. And I realized that I could get quiet, and if I had a question on my mind, I'd get an answer. And I started asking questions, and I started getting answers and checking them out, and found that they were right on. My perception totally changed. I was able to see things from a whole different basis than what I had ever experienced before. It was almost like moving into a new world for me. And these basic laws of nature simply came to me. I didn't study them, and I didn't have any information about them in particular. It simply came to me. One of the questions that I asked was what role we each play in creating what we experience in our lives. And what came to me, or what I was able to clearly see, is that everything is energy, and that thought directs energy, and that's how we create our experiences. I could also see that love is the power source of the universe, and that everything originates from love. And if we can be in touch with that love, which was easy to do once I had released enough stress in my system to be in touch with really knowing the love inside, then I could see how it works, and I could see that the beliefs, what we truly believe, is what creates what we experience in our lives, and I could see how it was funny and it was sad to look at what we do to ourselves, because we really don't understand how these principles work. But I could also see that there was a law of attraction and repulsion, and that we attract to ourselves in relationship to what we believe, and we repel from ourselves in relationship to what we believe. The energy moves in relationship to our own thoughts. So once I really understood this, I knew that it's possible for all of us to create whatever we want in our lives. And what I wanted to do more than anything was to share that with others. And then I designed a program to do that, which all of you have experienced. And in that program, we have 5 basic choices that we make. And this lays the foundation for being able to create the other things that we want in our lives. If we can create these 5 basic things in our lives, we're set to create the other things we want in our lives. And the first choice is to choose to love yourself. And that, again, is getting in touch with the love that we are. Everything is love, and we also are love. So it's getting in touch with that love. Really getting to know ourselves, understanding who we are, understanding how we function, and our purpose. The second choice is a choice to choose. To actually choose to take charge of our lives, to be the creative force in our lives. Once we know that we are creating our lives, then we can choose to create them the way we want them, rather than simply react to what happens to us, as most of us do. Instead of reacting to what happens in our lives, we choose to be in charge of our lives. And the third choice is to choose health. We choose physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And we need to cultivate health on all levels simultaneously. And that's a part of the process, is choosing health. And the fourth one is to choose freedom. We are all free, and as we get to know ourselves better, we understand that it's us that keeps us from being free if we think we're not free. And then the last one is we choose to be true to ourselves. And again, we're all connected to all intelligence. And there's that part of us deep inside when we're connected that really knows what to do and how to do it. And we need to listen to that and truly be true to that.